Wake up, Chicago. The ground is shifting beneath our feet, and I am not just talking about the defensive lineup. We are witnessing a seismic restructuring of the Chicago Bears franchise, from the locker room to the front office, and potentially to the very state we play in. Sources are confirming massive decisions that signal a complete philosophical pivot. This isn't just an off-season tweak. This is an identity crisis meeting a financial revolution. You need to understand the magnitude of what is happening right now, because the Bears you know today might not look anything like the Bears of tomorrow.
Let's get straight to the breaking news that is rocking Hallis Hall and sending shockwaves through the entire National Football League. According to confirmed reports from the Associated Press and the Chicago Tribune, this Wednesday, February 26th, the Chicago Bears have officially authorized veteran linebacker Tremaine Edmunds to seek a trade. This is not a rumor, this is not speculation, this is a definitive move by General Manager Ryan Poles to alter the financial and structural reality of this team. We are talking about a player who was brought in as a cornerstone, a massive free agent acquisition intended to anchor the middle of this defense for years to come. Yet here we are, looking at a potential exit that sources say is driven largely by the salary cap implications. Moving Edmunds would clear approximately $15 million in cap space for the 2026 season. That is the Schefter reality: cold, hard numbers and roster management. But let me switch gears and talk to you about what this really means, because this is where the emotion kicks in. Are you kidding me right now? We go out and spend big money, we bring in a physical specimen, a leader, a guy who is supposed to be the quarterback of the defense, and now we are basically putting a for sale sign on his locker? This is the National Football League, not a fantasy football league where you just cycle through players because you want to save a few bucks 2 years down the road. When you sign a player of Tremaine Edmunds' caliber, you are making a commitment to winning now. You are telling your fan base that the defense is going to be elite. But now the narrative flips. Now it is about flexibility. It is about the future cap. It is about resource allocation. I understand the business. I get it. Linebackers are being devalued across the league. You don't pay off-ball linebackers quarterback money if they aren't producing turnover-worthy plays every single Sunday. But my question to the Bears front office is this: who replaces that presence? Who steps into that void? You can't just plug in a rookie and expect the same level of communication and recognition. This is a gamble, a massive gamble. Ryan Poles is betting that he can find 80% of the production for 20% of the cost. And he is betting that the $15 million saved in 2026 will be more valuable than the stability Edmunds provides right now. It is a ruthless calculation. It screams that no one is safe. If a captain, a marquee signing, can be shown the door, then everybody is on notice. We have to look at the timing. Why now? Why let him seek a trade at this specific juncture? It tells me they have a plan for that money, or perhaps they have their eyes on a replacement that we don't even know about yet. But make no mistake, this changes the identity of the defense. It puts massive pressure on the remaining linebackers to step up. It puts pressure on the coaching staff to scheme around a potential talent deficit in the middle of the field. The fans are going to be split on this. Half of you will say, good, save the money, build the trenches. The other half will say, we are weakening the team just to save cash for owners who have plenty of it. This is the dichotomy of modern football. You need stars, but you can't overpay for positions that don't touch the ball on every snap. The Bears have made their choice. They have prioritized the checkbook over the player in this instance. But if you think losing a star linebacker is the only uncertainty facing this franchise, you are dead wrong, because the very ground the stadium sits on is now up for grabs.
Listen, this league moves fast, and the Bears are moving even faster. You cannot afford to be left behind on this news. Hit that subscribe button right now to stay ahead of every single breaking story coming out of Chicago.
We move from the roster to the real estate. And folks, this is getting ugly, political, and frankly, absolutely critical for the future of this franchise. The saga surrounding the new stadium for the Chicago Bears has escalated from a simmering dispute to a full-blown interstate conflict. We are seeing a strategic battle play out in real time between the state of Indiana and the city of Chicago. Reports confirm that a legislative bill designed to lure the Bears to Indiana is advancing rapidly through their state house. This isn't just talk anymore. This is legislation. This is a legal framework being built to steal one of the NFL's charter franchises away from the Windy City. And it gets more personal. The governor of Indiana has publicly criticized the city of Chicago's leadership, essentially calling out the dysfunction and the hurdles the Bears have faced in trying to get a deal done on the lakefront. Let's break down the leverage here. Indiana is rolling out the red carpet. They see the dollar signs. They see the economic impact. They are looking at the Bears and saying, we will give you what Chicago won't. They are offering a path of least resistance. Meanwhile, in Chicago, it's a gridlock. The politics are messy, the funding is controversial, the location is debated. And now you have a neighboring governor throwing gasoline on the fire, explicitly targeting the Chicago mayor's office with his rhetoric. This is a power play of the highest order. It puts immense pressure on Chicago officials to stop playing hardball and start cutting deals, or risk being the administration that lost the Bears. Now, let me give you the Stephen A. perspective on this. The Chicago Bears belong in Chicago. The history, the tradition, the freezing cold weather at Soldier Field, that is the DNA of this team. The idea of driving across the state line to Indiana to watch the Chicago Bears feels like a betrayal of the highest magnitude to the traditionalist fan. It is blasphemy. However, I am also a realist. This is a business worth billions. If Chicago cannot get its act together, if the bureaucracy continues to strangle the progress of a state-of-the-art stadium that this team desperately needs to compete for Super Bowls and host major events, then they deserve to lose them. You cannot hold a franchise hostage with nostalgia while your neighbor is offering a palace. Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren are watching this like hawks. This public spat between the Indiana governor and Chicago officials is exactly what the Bears front office wants. It creates urgency. It forces the hand of the politicians in Illinois. It is the ultimate leverage. Look at how much they want us over there. Look at how easy they're making it. That is the message being sent without the Bears having to say a single word. The criticism from the Indiana governor highlights a perception that Chicago is difficult to do business with, and that is a narrative that the Bears can use to squeeze every last concession out of the city if they decide to stay. But we have to ask ourselves, is this a bluff? Is Indiana just a pawn in a negotiation tactic? Or is there a real possibility that we will be driving down the Skyway to watch our team play in a dome in Northwest Indiana? The fact that the bill is advancing suggests this is more than just a threat. It is a viable option B that is quickly becoming option A if Chicago doesn't wake up. The tension is palpable, the political gloves are off, and caught in the middle are the fans, who just want a world-class home for their team without having to cross state lines. This situation is fluid, it is volatile, and the governor's comments prove that the fight for the Bears is no longer just a local issue, it is a regional war.
We are standing at a crossroads. On one hand, we are stripping down the defense to save cash for a future we can't fully see yet. On the other, we are flirting with leaving the city of Chicago entirely for Indiana as the political heat turns up. This is not just an off-season. This is a defining era for the organization. I need to know where you stand. Are you okay with trading Edmonds to save the cap? And more importantly, if the Bears actually move to Indiana, are you still following them, or is that the final straw? Drop your comments below right now. Let's hash this out, because this is our team, and our voice matters. Bear down.